Rasala.
Yeah.
Your cows are just walking around. How did you set that up?
Well, what we practice here is the rational grazing system, and that means we divide the paddocks into small area, and we give the cows just enough grazing area for 1 or 2 days, and then we move them to another paddock. We have enough paddocks to cover the entire rest period that the first paddock would need to grow up again. So the grass is only being grazed 1 time per rotation. It's maximal efficiency for the cow, for the land, and for the grass productivity. It's a very scientific method of agriculture. And it's almost a lost art in this world, grazing management, and especially rational grazing management. But anyone can come here and learn the principles and protect the cow. It makes it very simplified because it's less expensive, and it's less labor, and it's healthier for the cow.
And do you milk how often do you milk the cows here?
I milk the cows once a day in the evening. We have 1 milk cow.
And you drink the milk?
Yeah, we drink the milk.
Do you make cheese and...
We don't make cheese, but we've turned it into butter, ghee, yogurt, like that. Curd, especially.
Mm-hmm. And I know that the dairy cows, most dairy cows are pumped with hormones, and they're fed grass that's full of chemicals and everything.
Well, the real problem is most are fed a lot of grain, which dairy cows cannot digest grain properly, and that's what irritates their rumen and makes them ill. And then that's why they pump them full of the different drugs, antibiotics and hormones to make them stronger, antibiotics. But it's coming to the point now where the antibiotics are no longer working, and the cows have built up a resistance. So they're in a quandary as to what to do. And even the secular agricultural educators are admitting that grassland management is the future of agriculture, and the industrial age of agriculture is over because of the cow's resistance to antibiotics. And that's how mad cow was spread in the feedlots of the West, gigantic feedlots where they keep hundreds of thousands of cows together and they feed them grain. And from the mass use of antibiotics there, the cows became resistant. And that's how mad cow spread amongst the different herds. So it's actually not mad cow disease, it's mad human disease, because human beings have become so greedy and so demoniac that they grind up some cows and they feed that to the other cows in their insatiable lust to just try to find some kind of cheaper source of feed for their animals. I mean, for thousands of years it's been going on that animals get grain and they get hay, and that's it. Now, where did this come in that they're going to grind up some animals and feed that to other animals? I mean, even a child can understand that can't be good for them. So now they call it mad cow, but isn't it really mad human disease? Because the humans are so greedy that they would do that to other beings. So even the secular agriculturalists are admitting that industrial age of agriculture is basically over. They can't support it any longer because of production costs and also the antibiotic problem, and that they're going to have to turn to a more natural, simple form of agriculture.
And do you think also that people's health is deteriorating because not only are they eating the meat, which is not good for them, but the milk they're drinking is so poisoned?
The person who I'm following as far as the grazing management, he's the most expert person on grazing management in Western history, Andre Voisin. He wrote another book called Soil, Grass, and Cancer, where he directly relates that the degradation of the soil leads to the degradation of the food supply, and that leads to the degradation of human beings' health in all kinds of scientific and language and all these studies he's done. And he primarily thought that the abuse of the cow and the neglect of the cow and the mistreatment of the cow, that exploitive mentality came in first. Then the exploitive mentality came in towards the land by using so many herbicides, pesticides, fungicides, poor agricultural practices. That came in next. That deteriorated the quality of the soil, and therefore the milk supply is deteriorated in terms of nutrition, and the grain supply is deteriorated. All food supply is deteriorated in nutrition because the exploitive mentality towards the cow and the land. And it's affecting human beings, their health. Voice improves that it's basically the cause of cancer, is this exploitive mentality. So of course, yeah, it's bad for human beings, very bad.
And now you're making a living here with your cows. How many cows do you have?
I have 7 cows.
And how did you get your cows?
Well, they were all basically rescued from the slaughterhouse. I have one friend who has a dairy farm, and they were sending some bull calves and a weaker dairy cow to the slaughterhouse, and he called me and he asked me if I would like to purchase them. They're very inexpensive, and so I did it. That was my first three. It was Bali, Deva, and Kamala. And then there were another 4 cows that were going to be sent to the slaughterhouse in New York State. 2 bull calves and 2 smaller cows, female cows. And my friend Sanatan brought them to me in a VW bus, 4 calves. And so we took them in too.
What would you say about so many people that they have farms, but their farms they are protecting cows and then they slaughter them? Like, even they say it's good that they're even grazing, even though they're going to be eaten as meat.
There's a great detachment.
They're making their living out of. I mean, they're families that, you know, they need to make a living. So,
well,
what would you say
I
about
live
that?
here in dairy country, so I know most dairy farmers actually love their cows, and there's a big conflict in their mind that they treat these cows so nicely throughout their whole life. I mean, some don't, but most do. And then at the end, they're slaughtered. It's almost like looking the other way. They have to do that. But I think a lot of the dairy farmers around here would like for me to show the way on how cows could not be slaughtered and people could still make a profit, and they would gladly do it, because they do actually care for and love their herds of cows. And it kills them to have to send them to slaughter a lot of times. And I know from the farmers around here talking with me that they want me to prove it. So they're not against me, they're for me.